Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world today. Today, I'm going to talk about Luminex Resources, which is a Lumina Group company. The Lumina Group has a track record of advancing, de-risking, and monetizing assets. We've sold 7 assets to date. The group was founded by Ross Beatty and has had the same key technical people for the duration. So Marshall Koval, who's the CEO of Lumina Gold and Luminex Resources, and Leo Hathaway, who's our chief geologist across all the companies. So Lumina Gold is a large-scale 17 million ounce gold and copper project in Ecuador. It's had 2 PEA studies completed on it. Luminex Resources, that I'll be talking about today, has 1 large-scale gold asset, the Condor asset, as well as 3 early-stage copper projects. And then we have Strategic Resources, which I'm the CEO of, and that's a vanadium developer focused in Finland. So just moving on to talk about what's in Luminex. So there's 4 key assets, 2 world-class partners, all in 1 country, being Ecuador. Luminex itself is spending money on Condor and Cascas. We're advancing the Condor project towards a PEA that we expect this June, and that'll be working on approximately half of the 5.2 million ounces that we've defined there so far. At the Cascas project, it's early stage copper porphyry, and we expect to be drilling that in March. Our 2 partners have been working away now for a fair amount of time. BHP's been working for approximately a year and a half, and Anglo American's been working for about 2.5 years on early stage copper projects. BHP will be drilling the Tarqui project this March, and we're very excited about that. They're spending $42 million over 6 years to earn 60% on the project, and they can go to 70% if they spend an extra $40 million. Anglo American is spending $57 million to earn 60% on the Pegasus A and Pegasus B projects. That project's drill ready, and as soon as they mobilize back to the field, they'll be planning to drill that, which we hope will be in 2021. So just moving on here and talking a little bit about the cap structure of the company. There's 91 million shares outstanding right now with about a $60 million Canadian market cap. Cash on hand at the end of September, our last financials, was $9.7 million. It's closer to about $5 million US right now, and we expect to have results out of Cascas and Tarqui prior to raising money again. Key shareholders are Ross Beatty, founder of the Lumina Group. So he's at about 19.9%. Management's at about 6.3%. There's 5 or 6 Ecuadorian entrepreneurs that collectively hold under 15%. And then a large fund out of San Francisco, Route 1, that holds 9.9%. So a big advantage of the Lumina Group and our companies is our ability to finance and having such a strong group of supportive shareholders that participates in every round of financing. So just looking at where our concessions are in Ecuador, the Pegasus A and Pegasus B concessions, which is our largest land package at 67,000 hectares, is right next to Salazar and Aventus's property, Curipamba, in the center of Ecuador. The rest of our projects are really along the Peruvian border and focused on pretty much the busiest trend of mineralization in Ecuador. You've got 2 mines that have been built there in the last 5 years with the Mirador mine and Lundin Gold's Fruta del Norte. So in that trend, you've got our partnership with BHP, the Tarqui project, you've got our Condor Gold project, and then a bunch of earlier stage concessions, including the Cascas project that we'll be drilling this month. So this is the trend zoomed in, and as you'll see, is a very busy, very active area. This area has had about $2.5 billion invested into it over the last several years, and we think it'll continue to be a source of many discoveries and lots of mine development going forward. Condor, when we got it, had about $40 million spent on it already and approximately 100,000 meters of drilling. Since we started managing it, we've drilled about 20,000 meters there, discovered a new area called the Camp Deposit, which is a high-grade underground target. And, we've spent a fair amount of our own money as well. So now we're up to about 120,000 meters in total and have a very substantial resource base. So just looking at the specific deposits, the map on the right there, there's the 5 red stars. The 4 stars in the north are a gold epithermal system. There's 3 open pit targets, Los Cuyas, Soledad, and Enma, and then an underground target, the Camp deposit. Those 4 deposits are going to form the basis of our PEA, and in total are about 2.6 million ounces of gold. Now, Santa Barbara to the south, that's a large gold copper porphyry. That will not be in the PEA, but is a future opportunity to add into any mining operation there. So just looking at the pits, you can see in the north here, there's the 3 pits that are outlined between Cuyas, Soledad, and Enma. Those are in the range of about 0.7 to 0.8 grams per ton gold. And then you've got the Camp deposit, which is about 3 grams per ton gold equivalent underground. So the idea would be to have open pit mining as well as underground mining at the same time and blend the higher grade underground ore with the open pits. Now we're expecting somewhere around a 10 to 15 year mine life from these deposits combined. When you look at this area in the north here, there's also other targets that we think will add to this eventually. The Permetador target's never been drilled, but looks like a great open pit target. There's also some wonderful rock and soil samples to the south of Enma. So lots of potential here to add mineralization over time, as well as Santa Barbara and other areas on the Condor property. So just shifting away from the gold for a second, and talking about some of our other early stage properties on the copper side. Cascas is in the belt with all of these porphyry discoveries. That map on the left there, it starts with Warintza at the top, which is obviously a great discovery that Solaris is working on right now. Our Tarqui project just below it, which we expect to be a copper porphyry target with BHP, the Mirador mine, etc. So as you get your way down to Cascas, we think we're in the right trend. We originally actually started working on this project and focusing on the gold because there had been historical placer mining in the area. But as we got onto the property and did more work, we saw that the copper potential was strong and potentially even better than the gold. So we've now defined about a 7-kilometer long copper anomaly here with Shakal right in the center. And that really is the area that looks like the strongest at surface copper anomaly we've seen so far, with lots of samples above 1% copper. So just looking at some of the images here that are coming out of Shakal, I mean, we're seeing leaching copper at the surface, and lots of potential for very strong mineralization there. And this area also lines up with the geophysics that we've done on the property. So this is where we'll start drilling this month, and we're extremely excited about it. So just shifting to the BHP Earn and talking about Tarqui here. They've spent about $3 million to date. They need to spend 42 to earn the 60% to complete the earn-in, and then they'll have the option to go to 70% by spending an extra $40 million there, which we view as being very close to feasibility study or construction decision if they were to spend that much money. They're going to focus on the northern area of Tarqui, and on this map on the right, you can see this discovery zone. That's actually an area our geologists discovered, which kind of drew BHP towards the project. Since then, they've done geophysics over the area and a lot more field work to determine drill targets. That we expect that they'll be drilling this month as well, so that's going to be great. It's similar to Cascas in the sense that we're seeing lots of over 1% copper mineralization outcropping at surface. And then lastly, in the portfolio, we've got the Anglo-American Earn-in, and this is Pegasus A and Pegasus B. These are truly massive land packages. Anglo's been working across Pegasus A for about 2.5 years now. They spent about $11 million. They've defined numerous targets, which I'll show you in a sec. So once they make their cash payment to us in September of this year for $500,000, they'll be at the 25% ownership threshold in these properties. So this is just a summary of Pegasus A in the north, and really a compilation of all the work they've done. So you've got the field work with the rock and soil sampling, the geophysics, the magnetics, and the ZTEM work they've done. And these are the 8 porphyry targets they've developed. And they're really looking for district potential here with multiple deposits that would support, decades of mining. The Medusa prospect is the most clear target to them and the one that has the most work done on it so far. Our geologists had also done some work there. So that target you'll see here on the next page is a summary of the magnetics and the ZTEM from that target. And it really does look like a clear and obvious porphyry target there with a pyrite halo and just the classic signs of a porphyry you'd look for that you'd want to drill. So we do expect Anglo to remobilize to the field later this year and hope that they're drilling in 2021. So if you step back and you think about Luminex, there's a lot of moving pieces in a $60 million Canadian market cap company. You've got the 5 million ounces of Condor that underpin the value. We're taking that to a PEA in June. I think that'll demonstrate to the market that, the Condor deposits have potential to be a mine and certainly have more value than what we're getting in the market today. And we really don't think that we're getting any value for these early stage copper projects. And, in the month of March, we're expecting to have drills turning at Cascas and drills turning at Tarqui with ourselves and then BHP. So potential for 2 large scale copper discoveries really in the near term here and an excellent entry point potential into Luminex. And then aside from that, we still have early stage land packages elsewhere in the country, and we're advancing those and, continually looking for partners. So this is a management team that's done it before, and we expect to do it again. Thanks for taking the time to listen about Luminex Resources today.